Hey everybody, and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be giving you my review for Saints Row. Now, if you've been anywhere on the internet lately, it does seem like more people are, I wouldn't say trashing the game, but pulling out its negative aspects more than positive. But that's not to say that people aren't liking it. Me personally, I like the game. I've beat the story. I've pretty much done all of the bonus content. Sure, I haven't got every little collectible, but I've seen everything the game has to offer. I've played every type of mini game and all the other kind of content. There's nothing in the game that I haven't seen done. I just haven't done it all. Right? As you can see by the map. Now, the game, if you played Saints Row or any open world game, it's your standard fare. You go to different areas, you do different activities to unlock different things. Here in Saints Row, you can take over territories, you can complete different little objectives to unlock different customizations for your cars, your outfits, your weapons. That's one thing about the game that I like, and that I like about all the Saints Rows is that there's a lot of emphasis on customization. There's so many different clothing options, so many different stores, so many different guns, so many different ways to customize your guns, the way they look, the way your clothes look, the way your vehicles look. The selection of cars is huge. There's different variety of, special cars from like a bathtub to different vehicles you unlock. And some are special, versions of cars that you unlock for doing these different activities or story missions and stuff like that. There's just a lot of emphasis on customization. The story itself is kind of like previous Saints Row. It's pretty simple. It's not overly simple, but it's definitely not complicated. It has a few tense moments, but the most part, it is a go-lucky, funny kind of thing. Some of the objectives are lay around or, stuff like that. Very jokey kind of things. And you'll get what I mean if you played any of the previous Saints Row games. But it just has that like joke kind of atmosphere while the missions are maybe serious about you chasing someone down to kill them, but besides, that aspect, there's a lot of dialogue between the characters that's funny, a lot of references to, real world things, references to other games. I mean, some of the side missions are references like Dark Souls, have a reference to Fallout, things like that. There's comedy in there, and everyone has a different opinion whether they like it or not. Personally, I enjoy it, and that's why I say the game is fun and I like it. I've played the previous games, so I went into this having an idea what to expect, and I'm not disappointed. If you've played the previous games, and whether you enjoyed them or didn't, you're getting the same thing here. I mean, even some of the same mini games like Mayhem and Insurance Fraud make a return. We do get some new additions like choplifting and riding shotgun, but there were some things that came from the earlier games that are still here. As you can see, you're taking over territories like in the previous games. Again, it's your standard fare like Saints Row games, and it's also your standard fare in open world exploration and collectibles and tons of mini games to boost hours of the game. The campaign itself is probably 10 to 12 hours depending on how you play it and what difficulty. I would say easy is probably 10 hours or so if you're just rushing through it. And then, like I said, I've done a ton of content and streaming it. I probably got over 20 hours in the game and I'm not even done. I don't even know how many hours left I have to do everything that's offered in the game. So, yes, it's one of those situations where there is more bonus stuff than actual story content to boost hours of the game to make it look better for sales. But again, that's standard fare for open world games of this type, and it's standard fare for Saints Row games. So if you've played them before or played games similar to this, you know what you're getting. Now, I said earlier in the video that some people are being negative about the game, and there are problems with the game. That is undeniable. But some people over exaggerate these problems. Now, I've played the game, and everyone's different. I have seen people address different issues that I've never experienced. But me personally, I've experienced some of the common issues of the game freezing or the game crashing or um, the screen clipping out or falling through the environment. The things of those things, though, I would say 90% of my issues were solved by just reloading an autosave or a manual save or closing the game and reopening it. And yes, that is annoying, but would you rather have a game that has a few issues, but they're easily solved in you just gotta reload a save or close the game and reopening it, or say something like Cyberpunk and it just doesn't work, period. I personally haven't had or seen an issue that is completely game breaking or deleting of saves. Like I said, most people's issues, mine included, are fixed by reloading a save or closing and reopening the game. But those issues that those solve are common issues. There's really no open world game that comes out that doesn't have clipping issues, falling through the environment, sequence breaks, all sorts of things that honestly today as gamers, if you've played previous games, you should expect to come out. And the developers are, I mean, there's already been a day one patch, as most games, but there's been another patch after that, and they plan more patches. But the game's not broken. It's not unplayable. I haven't seen a situation where it's unplayable. So it's definitely playable, and some of the things are annoying or inconvenient, but it's not a broken game. So I think some people are being more negative than they need to be. But I do understand where they're coming from the aspect of when they say it's boring. Because, again, yes, besides the environment of the game and a lot more customization, it is really like the previous Saints Row games. Like I said, there's a lot of aspects that come from those games that are still here. And if you like those games, you'll like it. But yeah, it's not a huge revelation change in the series like maybe they wanted to portray. But it's different in a lot of ways. And some of the ways that it is the same or trope like are shared by all games. You know, yeah, I can't really think of an open world game where you explore that doesn't have like territories to take over. I mean, Assassin's Creed is bases, but what's the difference? You know, or and your mini activities, you know, and your excessive amount of collectibles, right? Pretty much every game has that. Some games that aren't even open world, that are more linear, have that. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you, but so I can get where someone's saying that maybe it's boring or maybe uninspired, but the problems people have are problems with the games of the industry as is, not of this game itself. It's not like every other game of this type is excellent and then this is lacking. So I think it's an enjoyable experience if you like Saints Row. I think it's something worth trying. But if you have some high expectation of this being some new, fantastic game that's breaking the mold for the series or breaking the mold for games of this nature, you're not going to get that. I'm sorry to say, you're not going to get that. Um, and for some people, that's a deal breaker, and I understand that. you know? But at the end of the day, I think it's an alright game. It's, as like I said, as far as I can tell, it has nothing game breaking in terms of glitches. So it's playable. I think it's enjoyable. It's just something you can sit down and play. It's not super serious. It doesn't take itself super serious. And you could just dump a bunch of hours just causing mayhem and having fun. And honestly, that might be something people need today. So that's my review for the game. I'd give it, I don't know, a 7 out of 10. Not perfect, but it's great for what it is. It's just not revolutionary, like some people hoped. But hey, thanks for checking out the video. I hope the review helped. I know it's a little longer winded than it needs to be, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. And until then, bye.